Loud. All right, Yuri, we are recording, man. You're about to become a very famous person. A lot of women are gonna give you a call tonight, my friend. Just kidding, Yuri. Man, let me know a little bit of your information, man. Where you from, where you live, where you work. I got some questions for you. The main idea is to tell your story, okay? Your progress studying English and the level you've achieved. So just I'll let you know, I'll guide you because we got a lot of things to cover. Number one, man, your name, where you from, where do you work, what do you do there? Tell me a little bit about it, man, please.
All right, I will introduce myself. My name is Yuri. Uh, I've been working at Intelbras. It's been three three years and a half. So I started to learn English, to study English with Guilherme 2 years ago. And when I started, I didn't know much about English. I was in a basic one,
I
basic
think you
one.
started basic too, right?
Yes, yes,
I think
but
you
we
started
both
basic too.
agree to me starting basic two, but I wasn't that prepared to the basic
Basic two
two.
level.
Yes, so
Ah,
I
okay.
worked I worked quite hard to become prepared to get ready to that class,
That's it, man. Very good.
and that's
Uh,
it.
yes, that's awesome. I remember you told me something about being at the restaurant, and I'll try to let you know this story and not telling you, and you tell yourself this story. I was at the restaurant with a few students at the restaurant at Intelbras, and
Ah,
you
yes,
remember
yes,
this story, man.
yes,
It's
yes,
a good story. I
yes.
think
It's a
it's
good
it's
start.
it's
Yes.
nice to say.
Uh, Actually, I always wanted to learn English in my life. That always, always was my dream to learn English, to speak English. But I just never start to practice. And then one day, you was a few days that time before that day, you send that general email to all the workers. And then I saw
Hmm.
that mail, and then I think the next day or I saw you with more 3 or 4 students, and the students was trying to speak, and you supporting the students. Let's go, yes, and yes, that gives me a lot of motivation to start. And then I think the next day I send an email to you to
To start
start
the
to learn.
class.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. I was having lunch at the restaurant of Intelbras, speaking to students. You sat around us. I never knew. You told me this story some time
Yes,
ago. I
yes,
didn't know that. Very
yes.
good, man. Very, very good. I had some problem with my light here, but let's carry on. Yuri, man, when did you start studying, man? Do you remember the year? Today
The,
is nowadays is January 2021, right? Do you remember
was
the day, the year? And I don't know if it was
well,
the
I
beginning
think
of
yes, I think was around February of 29th, I think.
2019.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's February. Okay, and we are January 19 and 20. Yeah,
Yes,
so two,
it's been 2 years. We'll
two.
complete two
It's
years next month, I think.
next month we'll complete two
Yes,
years. It's been 2 years. Yes, man. Yeah, and man, as you've done such a good work, tell me a little bit about your. We had a very crazy first semester. Do you remember what
yes,
happened the first
yes.
semester? You
I did. I
showed up.
didn't show up in many classes. I didn't. I
Yes,
I
man.
think I missed. I think I missed almost all classes of that
I think
semester.
the semester it's around 5 to 6 months, and we have 8 classes per month. I think
Yes.
the whole semester you came 8 classes. So
Equivalent a month.
you equivalent a month.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Tell you forgot to say what you do at Intelbras,
Yes.
and you can say what you're doing right now, and you are also you got 2 jobs, right? You can talk a little bit about both jobs. I
Yes.
think it's nice.
So I started to work at Intelbras. I was doing an internship and mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So when my internship was done, uh, another door opened to me that work here in the inspection of receivement
Perfect,
as
man.
a technician of quality. And that place, I didn't know so much about it, but I like it to work here with these people. It is good. So, and another work that I have, I started to work as a lifeguard before I work here at Intelbras. Will complete 5 years this year that I've been working in the beach. Uh, I worked most of the time in Joaquina Beach.
Perfect.
So
That's it. Very nice.
yes, that is kind of my hobby. I like so much to work. I enjoy a lot working in the beach.
Perfect.
So I work in the beach just on weekends. Just on weekends.
Very good, Yuri. Very good. Um,
I'm a little nervous
yeah,
uh,
yes,
because
this
yes, with
is
the recording
the
thing.
record. The
Yes, yes,
recording is always, and this is nice. It's something that it's connected to learning English because you said yes. All right, let's do it. Let's record and let's talk. And
yes,
it's always it's not our comfortable zone, right?
yes,
And this
yes.
is something
You have to
this
handle all the pressure. Yes, it is a
exactly, and this is in my opinion something that helped you very very much learning English, you know, not being not sitting and staying in your comfortable zone.
yes,
So I remember because of your lifeguard job, by the time you started, I don't know if you remember, but you worked a few days on weekdays, right?
yes, I was working in winter. Uh, that year I was working in the winter, and I used to work in the first shift, and then another guy work the second shift.
Perfect.
We used to share our day work.
Very nice, man. And I don't know if I'm right, but I feel that had a big impact. Working, I because a lot of students and a lot of people who I know they want to study English more they want to study English, they want to learn English, they want to speak English
Yeah.
just as you're doing right now. Everything that happens in their routine stop them from studying or going after what they really want, which is speaking English. And what I like a lot about your story is that you had a lot of you work at Intelbras. For people who don't live in Floripa, Intelbras is
Yes.
in Continente. You live in Lagoa da Conceição, in Costa da
Costa da Lagoa,
Lagoa.
yes. Lagoa.
So
It's so far from here.
far, and your you started at 2 and you had the boat. So tell this story, the logistic for you, because I remember the classes basic 2 started 11:30. Your official
Yeah,
classes were 11:30, from
yeah,
11:30 to 12:30. And then
yes,
you
yes,
had the, remember, this story
yes,
is
yes,
really
yes. I
nice
remember. I
because it
remember.
shows how hard you worked. And then we are talking about the solution you found to compensate not being able to go to all the classes. Tell the logistic, man,
All
please.
right. So when I start to work in a basic, when I start to study in a basic two, the time of the class wasn't that good to me because I started to work here at Intelbras, and I work here in a second shift, 2 hours to it
2
is
p.m.,
2
right?
p.m. 2 p.m. Yes, 2 p.m. I started to work here. So I used to start the class 11:30 and finish the class 12:30. So I had to wait hour and a half to start to work here, and that was exhausting
And what
because
time? Continue. It was exhausting. Good English.
yeah, I was exhausted. And the first class was on Monday, and I used to work Saturday and Sunday on the beach. So Monday I just wanted to relax more. So because the boat that I had to take was I think 9:30 a.m. So was very early to me, and but uh, when I didn't show up in the class, I used to study at home to compensate the time that I'm not going to the class, but I will study at home alone. And
Perfect, man.
I always did that.
Exactly, exactly. Yuri, say the time. Explain that you live in a part of Floripa where there's no access by car, and I remember you told me use the boat moment and to see a lot of things on your cell
Yes.
phone. Tell first explain the the way to go to Intelbras. All right.
All right. So for who don't know, Costa da Lagoa is a neighbor near from Lagoa da Conceição, but the access is just by boats or hiking.
Perfect, man.
Car or motorcycle, bicycle don't arrive there. It
Very
is
good, man.
impossible. Yes. So I have to take a boat. It is a trip with. It is a ride boat around of 40 minutes, I think. So this time was new, un, un, unusual. Unusual. W- I
What?
didn't.
Uh, you didn't
Uh, uh,
useless. You want to say useless, like
yes,
not yes?
useless. Yes,
Ah,
used
I
to be a
got it.
useless. Yes, used to be a useless time. Useless.
Useless time. Yes.
Used to be useless time to me. But when I started to study English with you, I started to use that time to practice English, to
Very
listen music, to translate all the lyrics, to see videos on YouTube, and that was a useful time to me. I learned a lot.
Perfect, man. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That, yes, I could clearly see the difference because I remember you disappeared and then you showed up for a few classes the semester now and then. You took one class and then 3 weeks later you came to the next class.
Yes,
And I posted a lot of things, a lot of options, a lot of apps, a lot of website, a lot of options
yes.
for
I was
students in
always
general.
following. Yes, I was always following your
I remember.
instructions. Yes,
I
your
remember you told me, and you were really active on the WhatsApp group, doing what I said in some of my suggestions or some of the suggestions that popped up there. And once I met you at Intelbras and you were really motivated with a new app or something new you had been
yes.
uh, uh,
Actually, was a channel that you showed me on
I,
YouTube.
I
Uh,
think yes, 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 I
Learn
know.
English with TV series.
Learning or learn English with TV series. Do you
Learning,
remember?
learning,
Learning.
learning.
Yes, and I could see you really dedicated to that. That's a
Yes,
very. I'm
yes,
gonna, and that's a really nice, very useful, effective way of learning. Very nice. It's a YouTube channel. That's right. And the nicest thing of it is that the last 2 months of the semester you disappeared,
yes,
and then when we started next semester, I had given up on you. I said, Yuri, he won't study anymore. That guy gave up. He couldn't show up for the classes. And when I met you at Intelbras, we always talked Portuguese. I didn't know how was your English. And then you emailed me again. I wanna go. I wanna study, but we had. You said something about the schedule, right? We had to
they
change
said yes,
schedule.
yes,
And for people who don't know, every semester I interview the new students so I can see their level and uh, make the classes in the right level, basic,
yes,
intermediate. And I remember I hadn't seen you for 6 months. You were studying
yes,
basic two.
yes,
And then I said, normally students they don't have to have the interview again, right? Because I know their level, I know how things are going, but you disappear. So no, I gotta talk to him again and see what is the best. Maybe Yuri's gonna have to see Basic 2 again.
yes,
And then I had a wonderful surprise because we had this interview, 10 minutes interview in English, and the course has basic 1, basic 2, intermediate 1, intermediate 2, advanced 1, advanced 2. And you jumped from basic 2, which you came for 8 classes, to intermediate 2, right?
yes, yes. That's right. Yes,
So it shows that if you have contact to English, sometimes it's even more important than having a teacher, right? Having
yes,
contact, feeling more familiar with English. And you did that, and I was really surprised. And I remembered we started studying intermediate 2 at night. You were always able to see the classes and come to the classes, and you were really comfortable, right? Every listening I did, you were really understanding, talking to your classmates. We had 6 students, and I think you were definitely one of the best students in the class, right, Yuri?
yes, yes. I remember.
Yes, that was.
So, so I like your class since I started. I just Didn't show up in class in the first semester because the schedule wasn't good to me. But in the second semester, we both did a good schedule that was good to me.
That's
And
true.
yes, and I started to practice more in the class, and was
Exactly.
a yes,
You had done
y-
a lot of input. You had
yes,
a lot of content. You were familiar with expressions. You were familiar. You knew the fast English already. You had a good listening, and all you needed was to have the
yes,
opportunity to speak.
to speak.
Yes, Yuri. Yes,
That was
Yuri.
true.
It's true.
Was true.
And there's something else I wanted to ask you. What, in your opinion, man? Two questions. What, in your opinion, was the hardest thing in the process, and what do you think? First, what was the hardest thing, Yuri?
Hardest thing, I think it is in the beginning when we are starting to learn. We have to came with strength, to with motivation, because I always like to listen music, and I remember that I used to try to translate, but I couldn't translate anything. Any phrase I had to stop and translate with Google Translator, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I I used to try it again and translate. I used to translate everything. If I if I
Uh,
was watching a movie, I pause the move, translate the phrase, and then keep watching. Uh, a
Perfect.
video a video class on YouTube was 5 minutes, but I used to use, I think, 10 or 15 minutes because I was pausing and translating everything. I
Very
think
nice.
the 6 months I did that. After
Perfect.
that 6 months, all videos was more natural to me understand. I could understand almost everything.
Perfect.
And the I
Very
think
good.
yes,
That's
the that that when I start to understand everything, give me more motivation to practice. And that when we start the intermediate two, and I
perfect.
yes, and in your class I start to speak more, to output my English.
That's right.
Because yes, at
That
home I just to input English, input.
very nice. Very, very nice. Uh, and man, and you can say the teacher. You can. I don't want to listen to this, but I would like to listen from you. What was, in your opinion, the secret for you to learn fast and learn with quality? What made the difference in this process? You avoided, you know, starting, stopping, coming back to basic level, and then waiting 6 months and starting again and progressing a little and then stopping. What was what do you think you did that helped you to learn fast and well, you know?
So I think the main thing it is dedication. We have to be dedicated to learn. But another thing it is good to have a guide to show to show to show all the way. And you showed me the best way to learn. You
That's a
always
good.
said me the truth, man. You have to study. If you have to study at home with videos, and in the class, I remember the class wasn't boring, wasn't a good
Uh,
class. Everyone was speaking. You you teach the real English, the English
oh
that we
man,
use. The grammatical thing we learn more naturally.
very good, man. Very,
Yes,
very good. Perfect, Yuri.
uh,
Very nice, man.
it is the same. I think because in Portuguese we learn how to speak, and then we learn grammatics in fourth grade, I think,
Yes, that's
sixth
true.
grade. And in English, can be different. First, we have to we must to learn how to speak many words, and then the grammatical we learn more naturally. Is easier, I think, to
That's
learn
it.
grammatics in that way.
Yes, 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 yes. You need the just the basic grammar, and then you can. Yes, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
The real English, the book is 10%. It's 10. No, I would say 25%, and the contact, dedication, I think, was the key. And I would point out, number one, you never gave up. Number two, you had problems with schedule, and you were very busy working two jobs, but you found time mainly to dedicate to videos and the internet and YouTube videos series, a lot of
yes,
songs, and then you were always ready for the classes to, speak. So I always give the credit to students, because a lot of students try, and not all of them achieve the result we want. So that's
yes.
the real
I
thing.
think I think for me was a little easier because I always liked American songs.
That's true.
And yes, I always liked to watch movies in English with subtitles in Portuguese. So that
Yeah,
helped me a lot. Helped me a lot.
that's true, man. That's true.
And
Very
then
good, Yuri.
when
Keep keep saying.
I start to watching movie with subtitle in Portuguese and the audio in English. I did that for 3 months, and then I put the subtitles in English, also in English. But I
That's
had to
perfect.
translate all the time, all the time, all the time. But after 6 months, uh, I didn't need to subtitles anymore. In
Wow.
some moves, it is still difficult to understand.
That's true. It
But
it happens to me, man. It
yes,
happens to me.
but
Hmm.
if it is a series, a friend. I don't need to see the subtitles anymore.
That's perfect, man. That's a wonderful accomplishment. It's really wonderful accomplishment. Very good, Yuri. Very nice, man. This is a good story, man. I don't know if you remember anything else, if you'd like to say anything else. I mean, in your process, in your story, because I think this is it's a good video, and the idea of this video is exactly show students a nice way to learn English.
Yes,
As you said, your video works as a guide. People can follow the steps you've taken,
yes,
mainly the
yes,
dedication with the, I would say, internet, films, and music. So cool, man. Cool, man. Very nice.